Good evening. A father and son have been plucked to safety after spending more than 12 hours bogged in the state's remote far north. Their rescue only happened thanks to a chance stop by a billionaire businessman who took to the sky to bring them home.
A speck on a vast waterlogged landscape. From high above, two stranded tourists from Melbourne can barely be seen. The father and son's Toyota had become hopelessly bogged in mud, leaving them marooned in the remote far north for more than 12 hours.
Were you glad to see the helicopter?
Yeah. I thought you were the army or something.
I drove out towards Lake Eyre on the road and there was a huge storm. Everything started to get flooded and I got bogged and I was left there.
With no way out and minimal phone signal, they texted emergency services who contacted the William Creek Hotel.
So fortunately, a very kind gentleman in a helicopter was flying past and came and picked us up.
That kind gentleman was billionaire businessman Tim Roberts, who had stopped at the pub for the night. He took to the sky in his helicopter with local legend Trevor Wright to rescue the father and son.
You'll be in before dark and you'll have a warm coffee or something waiting for you.
I've travelled these parts after floods for 20 years. I've never seen anything like this.
Locals say anyone heading into the Outback should check conditions before setting off or risk getting stuck in the middle of nowhere.
Check all the road reports, check the radar, check everything. But even then, if it starts raining, reconsider.
Their Outback adventure may have ground to a halt, but a sunset rescue lifted their spirits.
How are you feeling now?
Oh, that's beautiful, thanks.
Jonathan Edwards, 7 News.
The state coroner has handed down his findings into a tragic high-speed crash that claimed the lives of two women at Outback. Decorated police officer Joanne Shanahan and Tanya McNeil died at the hands of psychotic driver Harrison Kitt. But the coroner says the crash could not have been predicted nor prevented.
Despite the passage of time, the horror and tragic consequences of the crash haven't diminished. 6 years on, the coroner has declared the unfortunate truth is that this event could not have been predicted. On Anzac Day 2020, Detective Chief Superintendent Joanne Shanahan and Tanya McNeil were killed when they were hit by a speeding ute at the intersection of Cross and Fullerton Roads at Outback. Harrison Kitt, 20 at the time and in the midst of a psychotic episode, was behind the wheel. The inquest focused on whether Kitt could have been stopped while he was snapped by traffic cameras hurtling to Adelaide from the Fleurieu Peninsula, at times exceeding 180 kilometres an hour.
The coroner said without real-time information about Kitt or his final destination, there was no opportunity to intercept him on that fateful day, adding the police helicopter wasn't available because it was dealing with a search and rescue at the time.
Multiple reports were received from the public about Kitt's high-speed erratic driving, but none were able to provide a registration number because he was simply going too fast. The coroner made a single recommendation to implement a system where extreme speed notifications are automatically issued by fixed-point speed cameras to SAPOL and the Traffic Management Centre. Harrison Kitt was found not guilty of 2 counts of causing death by dangerous driving due to mental incompetence. He was ordered to live with his parents under strict mental health supervision and banned from driving for 10 years. Deanna Williams, 7 News.
A violent thief has threatened a man with a knife and stolen his beloved pet and luxury car in a brazen carjacking at a Western Suburbs service station. Honey Howe joins us live. Honey, Francine the poodle was in the car when the thief struck.
Rosanna, her owner, was washing his BMW when police say an unknown offender threatened him with a knife before taking off in the car with Francine still inside. A bystander capturing the incident, the owners, who run a dog grooming business, immediately calling police before posting an urgent appeal on social media. About an hour later, a passerby found Francine dumped at lower light, her owners racing to reunite with her. The stolen BMW BMW continued north until it was spiked and the driver was arrested near Germain Bay. A 35-year-old man from Kilburn is expected to be charged with aggravated robbery and illegal use of a motor vehicle. As for Francine, she'll no doubt be getting spoilt by her very relieved owners. Rosanna?
All right, thank you, honey. A controversial Southern Suburbs activist has been charged with harassing the Speaker of State Parliament. Luke Poulton is best known for leading protests against the celebration of diversity at Ranella East College and for opposing the construction of a nearby plastics factory. Police allege the 33-year-old caused a disturbance at the electorate office of Nat Cook last month, behaving in an aggressive and disorderly manner before later posting comments on social media.
All do ourselves a great service if people act with civility and respect and acknowledge that different points of view are healthy.
Poulton will face court in August. A cyclist has cheated death when an out-of-control car ploughed across a bike track right in front of her. The teen behind the wheel somehow came off the up track of the southeastern freeway, the first of two P-plater crashes overnight.
A 17-year-old boy was driving this Ford Ranger when he veered off the freeway up from the toll gate, careered through a fence, over a bike track and down an embankment. The impact felled a tree branch which sent a cyclist on the popular trail flying head over heels. She suffered minor injuries which could have been so much worse had she come along on her bike just seconds earlier. Hours later, another 17-year-old boy crashed on Hanson Road at Mansfield Park. His car slammed into a tree and flipped onto its roof.
My soul left my body, bro. That's how loud it was.
When local residents ran out, they saw the teen crawling from the wreckage with no other injuries than scraped knuckles.
I was kind of scared, not gonna lie, because I've never seen this happen before. I was just worrying about him, because I don't want him to be hurt or anyone else be hurt.
Very lucky, parents are very lucky that he's here, yeah, because it could have been a lot worse.
The young driver told those who'd rushed over to help him that he'd fallen asleep behind the wheel in the moments leading up to the crash.
He told us and he told the police because he wanted to be true, honest to the cops.
Checks reveal the Volkswagen station wagon is unregistered. Police say they're still investigating both crashes. Lauren Rose, 7 News.
SA motorists are making a last-minute mad dash to fill up before the fuel excise rises tomorrow. Sarah Cumming joins us live from Prospect. Sarah, petrol stations have been busy right across the state.
They sure have, Rosanna, with a constant stream of drivers here where unleaded is sitting at just under $1.50 a litre. Now, across the city, drivers have, between filling tanks and jerry cans, been trying to maximise the cheaper prices while they can, because from midnight, the fuel excise will be jumping by 16 cents a litre.